Welcome back to Let's Design Factorio. Yeah, I'm super happy how these turned out in the game. That was really great. All right, now on with a new build. We have to do the same thing, but for Vulcanus. And to do that, we have to figure out what conditions the map needs. Pressure is too low. All right, so we have to increase the pressure. To what, though? Preset. Oh, there we go. Never mind. There's presets. That's nice. Ooh. Now, we have to consider the natural resources on Vulcanus. Contains coal, calcite, tungsten ore, sulfuric acid geyser, lava. So that's 5 resources. There we go. There's our starting resources. Let's begin by setting up basic metals. Basic metals. Great. So probably, I'm guessing we should be switching to green belts. Now, given the fact that lava is an infinite resources, we don't have to use productivity except if we want to conserve calcite. But I'm pretty sure the calcite's going to be an abundant enough supply. Like for instance, if we measure this, we can see that we're using 15 calcite to make 5,625 molten iron. And I think that's, is it divided by 10? I can't recall. Oh, it's not. It's actually better than that. Well, in this case, because of productivity, 1,500 produces 225 iron plates. Yeah, so it's highly efficient. Now, if we put productivity modules in it, well, I mean, I could put productivity modules in the secondary ones to just make them. I don't know if that helps or not. Just to make it stretch further out, so I don't have to have as many foundries on the primary side. Then again, we have speed modules. This is just silly. Should we continue to use solar power? Because solar power is very effective on Vulcanus. So we've got iron plates and copper plates in infinite quantities. Oh, so this is going to make a stupid amount of stone. We're talking 8 1/4 stone per second. How can I even deal with that? Because we don't have loaders in vanilla. Oh. Well, that's going to complicate things. Yeah, it's the stone. It's the stone byproduct. That's a pretty big challenge, really. If I gotta be honest, it's yeah, maybe bulk inserters can handle it. Maybe. Yeah. What's stack inserters? What does it take to get? Oh, it's Gleba. I can't do stack inserters for a really long time. I got an idea. I got an idea. So here's a little bit of a design. We've got molten iron here and molten copper here, and this is making iron plates, copper plates, steel, and copper wire. We have a balance, 825 in, 550 out, and over here We have 825 in, 300 out. So yeah, it's, and so far, well, we're trying to get rid of the stone. It's not easy. Even on the green belt, it's not handling it. It's this really stupid thing where I can't put a product down on the near lane. It has to be the far lane. And I hate that about vanilla. In modern Factorio, I don't have that problem. Still, yeah, it's yeah, this is kind of an issue. I wonder. Here, let's put down some changes. You know, here's a problem. Here's a problem. I don't have to use speed modules at all, right? Because if you think about it, my speed is plus 120%, but my consumption is plus 240%, right? So the added speed, for every added speed, you have double the added energy consumption. So, idea, what if we don't do that, and instead we use efficiency modules? Alright, so now, our consumption is down. Here, let me really illustrate this. So this one with speed modules is drawing 8.5 megawatts just for this one machine, and it produces 206 per second, whereas this one produces 93.7 per second, which is a little less than half that, but it only draws 500 kilowatts instead of 8.5 megawatts. So that's like 1/17 the power. So yeah, we're going with that. And it might take more machines, but that's fine. We have lots of space we can use. We'll just make the array longer. See, already I can see that it's not handling the stone, right? So I've got to cut that down. Ooh, here we go. I got an idea. Yep. I think that works. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do is add one more. Alright, we've got a pair here, here, and here, so 3 pair above this line, and then 3 pair below this line, both feeding into it at the same rate. And it looks like it's keeping up, possibly? Question mark? And what we would do, of course, is the same thing on this side. Yes, okay, I do think it's keeping up for sure now. So that seems to be a fairly decent balance. The problem is it's really, really hard to measure the rate at which you can move product off of a belt into a chest with an inserter in vanilla. I mean, well, inserters are inherently, dependent on things like, you know, rotation speed, 864 degrees per second, and it's like hand stack size 1 plus 11. It's like, well, it's very, very fuzzy values there. So now that we've got these, I think we're going to have to increase, obviously, a lot more of these producers down here. Like, you know, we got the plates and stuff like that. Let's deal with those. You know, that's got me wondering. Here, let's try something. Oh no, that's very nice. That's very nice. So what we've got here is we've got, it's the stone handling on the copper side over here is coming together in the middle and then going under the foundries, taking advantage of the gap in the center, going under it again, and then coming out the other side and being handled over here. Right. And now we don't have to have this business over here, which means we've got a compact setup this way. Right. We can probably double this. Like that. And the copper, so we're bringing the molten iron from here, under here, and then over to this side. And similarly, we can bring the molten copper from here to this side, where we'll emerge like that, I think. Now, this doesn't have to be here. It can be anywhere. It can be way down here. Oh, duh. That's the lava. That's the wrong line. I got my lines crossed. Let's fix that. There we are. Right, so over here, although, I mean, technically, well, would it be so bad if these were reversed? Does it even matter? I could do it. Yeah, like, here's what I'm talking about. So let's get rid of these for now, and then what we'll do is we'll delete the contents of this pipe and this pipe. Yeah, so these are empty. Again, I want to flush from the entire pipeline. Come on. There you go. And we want to reverse all of these. To do that, we'll just cut all of them, flip it, and put it back. And now we have lava coming in on the left instead of the right, and molten copper will come out the right instead of the left. And I think that should be fine. Except, of course... well, is it? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So let's see what that looks like. It looks like lava's coming in here, and then it comes out this side, just like that. And then this, probably don't need that. We can go molten copper here, and then outputs over here, inputs on this side, and there we have it. Yeah, that's actually a lot cleaner. In fact, we can put this here. There we go. Yeah, this is starting to look really good. Now, of course, we do have... we should probably measure it. Let's measure what we got. Oh, wow. Now, yeah, we got a lot of molten iron and copper to use up that we're not even touching. So let's get going on that. I wonder... Yeah... Alright, I think that's I may have reached the capacity. So what do we got? 60 items per second on the belt, right? And yep, it's 60. Yep, that's what I found. I found the capacity. So this is producing 60 per second, and over here we've got another 60 per second, which is equal. Now this is I'm really quite happy to have found it so precisely, as this is producing exactly one green belt of iron plates and copper plates. Yep. Nice. Now, as far as leftovers, you can see that we're still massively outproducing in terms of extra molten iron and copper, which is fine. We can use that. So what we'll do is we're going to make a line, another line, probably right here, and this is going to be making steel. And we want to bring the molten iron from here over to the steel. So we're going to go this way and then this way, and there we are. That makes the steel. And then we're going to copy it like this and put a couple of inserters here. We're going to put, where are my efficiency module 2s? in there. We're going to measure it. This is 5.75 steel per second. Now, steel has never been something that you need as much as just straight up iron, although, you know, it'd be nice to have. Let's with this basic structure, because we got this basic structure going down, which is very good, I think. Oh, also, we can probably dispense with that. Let's go. There we go. This is quite interesting that... Oh yeah, you know why this is calmed down a lot? Because we're not using all of this molten metal. But we're going to try. We're going to try and use all of it. And the beautiful thing about this is that there isn't a throughput limit on pipes in Factorio 2.0. I can push as much fluid as I want through these pipes, which is a little silly, but that's what it is, right? So we're going to take another one here, and we're going to put a gap there and another gap there, and that should be the correct amount. And we'll put this time it's going to be copper wire. It's going to use molten copper, and molten copper is going to come from here. There it is, see? So we've got the molten copper pipe. We just raise it up a little bit, go underground, and then here we are. We're going to put the efficiency modules in it, and we're going to measure it. Oh, that's right. And we come up with 24 per second, which is a fair bit, because remember, copper wire takes up much more space on a belt, so it's a little bit unwieldy. We might do well to do 2 belts instead of 1. But let's keep going. So now we want to go back to iron, and it's going to be gears this time. And we're going to go back to this line, which is molten iron. And there we are, we're making gears. And this is making 12. So like 2 of these make 12 per second, 2 of these make 24 per second, 2 of these make 5.75 per second, 2 of these make 7.5 per second, and so on. So each one builds at different rates. All right, the next product for copper is actually science, because we've already got, well, there's one more iron than science. So over here we have plates, steel, gears, rods. Well, actually, there's even another one. It's concrete, which is a bit more complex because it needs water. But just straight up, it's going to be plates, steel, gears, and rods, which is 4, right? And over on the copper side, we have plates, wire, and science, which is 3. So because we started with iron, that means we can go iron, copper, iron, copper, iron, copper, iron. And then we've gotten all of the simple ones out of the way. So let's do that. We'll do science. Actually, science isn't simple. I take that back. Because it requires tungsten. 2 kinds of tungsten. Yeah. Now, it's going to be an interesting question how to get the tungsten in there. Let's see. What does it require in terms of tungsten? Wow. Are you serious? So it makes 1.2 science per second. Wait a second. So just one of these foundries makes... Really? Oh, 2 makes 36... Hang on. That sounds a bit insane. Like, if I was to go as fast as I can and measure it. Oh my goodness. So I could make 79 science per minute in one foundry if I go speed modules, which I'm not going to, but still, wow, that's like practically all you need. But I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna this is what I would call a late game build, so I don't want to have to upgrade it later. I'm gonna go for a full, gosh, what should I go for? Should I go for 200? Or maybe even 200 or 300 per minute? I mean, I could. I don't even know how much. Like, how much do we even need in some of these late game? Here, let's just scroll down a ways. Artillery shell shooting speed. Artillery shell damage 9 requires 256,000 science. No way. That's just nuts. So some of these infinite sciences, they do require a ridiculous amount. Most of the standard ones are like in the 1 to 2,000 range. Even fusion reactor takes 2,000, so it's not too egregious. But yeah, I mean, we'd do well to be able to supply, 250 per minute. How many? Like 1,000 minutes is still 17 hours. That'd be 17 hours to get that technology at 250 per minute. So, all right, so 72 per minute, right? And what we'll do is we're just going to put that last one down. And the last one is iron rods. You see how this is working, right? I mean, this is not bad. It's not bad. I'm just alternating copper and iron in terms of what we're building. Now, we're going to want to make a few copies of this, for sure, because we need lots of steel, I'm sure. Let's see how we're doing. So far, we have a whole lot of excess copper. Not as much excess iron. Let's make a few copies of this. And a few copies of this. I misaligned something. Yes, I did. There we are. No, that's still wrong. What happened? Oh. How did these get in there? That's better. Oh, now we're not making enough molten iron. Well, that's okay. We can do more. Although, again, so we can get rid of all this, right? Because, yeah, we don't need it. Yeah, 216. Let's just do one more. What's that total? 288. It's just silly. And, it's just the fact that the lava is endless. It makes this so stupidly viable, right? Might have to move. Yeah, I'm going to have to move everything from steel to the right over a bit because it's there's not going to be enough room. Put it too close. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So can we increase the iron production? Like, it's the funny thing is that the biggest challenge is actually how do we get rid of this stone fast enough? It's not even how do we supply enough calcite, because if you look at this calcite moving, it's just barely moving. It's barely moving. Yeah, it does. Okay, so it seems to be... Yeah, it's stuck. It's stuck because it's not moving the stone fast enough. Oh, hang on. There we go. That's the mistake. So let's see how fast we're producing the stone. Is it 60 per second? It's actually only 45 per second. So we could go even faster. Let's do it. So half of this should be 30 per second. Well, 26.25, 30. Oh, that's it. That's the answer. That's the answer here. Let's take we'll cut. Again, be careful how I do this. I want to add 4 more foundries, which means that we're going to take everything from the split, we're going to cut it and move it down by 4 foundries. That would be this amount right here. No, this amount right here. Right? So that's 4 foundries, I think. Oh, no, no, no. I only wanted to move it down 2 foundries because I'm going to add 2 to the other end. So let's try this again. So we want to go, that's 1, and that's 2. Yeah, 2 foundries. And we copy these 2 foundries precisely and put them here. Then we copy the last, or we move the last 2 foundries precisely and cut them and move them down 2. And then we copy these 2 and we put them here. And that should do it. So let's measure this. And now we have 60 per second of stone as a byproduct, which is as much as we can handle. And just to prove we can handle it, we'll just assume that we're dumping as fast as possible. But here, look at this. We have a fully saturated green belt of stone, 100% saturated. And these aren't backed up. At least they shouldn't be. It shouldn't gain, though it might. I don't know. Anyways, a lot of it will depend on if we're fully producing. At any rate, this gets rid of the stone. Now, we also have the excess copper that I put down. And the copper, let's measure the entire system. And you can see that we're actually overextended on the iron side. So we're using more iron than we're producing. But it's important to remember that in a complex system like this, where we're producing many different products that will be used at different rates, all from the same original product, which is molten iron, that they're not all going to be used at 100%. So the fact that we're down by 160 is not bad. In fact, I would be almost comfortable going a bit further than that, but this is fine. Like, I would be probably comfortable adding a few more steel. But the good news is that these are expandable. There's lots of room down here, so we can expand it if we need to. Now I want to do a quick measure on the iron, on the gears. And you can see that we're producing 48 per second, which is more than this side of the belt can handle. So that means we have to figure out where's the 30. Here it is. So we got 5. 5 foundries makes 30. So what we'll do is we'll just take the first 4 foundries and we're going to split it there. And then we'll take this down like so. There we go. Now that uses both lanes. And this one is the same problem, right? It's 96. That's not acceptable. But I was talking about perhaps making 2 belts of this. And I think I will. Because remember, so I should go up to I could go up to 120, but I'm just gonna bump the whole thing over a little bit to make 2 belts of 2 belts of copper wire. There we go. All right, so we got 2 belts coming down. And you know, the copper isn't overextended. Here, let's measure this one more time. The copper has actually got a bit extra, so we could go a bit further on the copper wire side. What was it again? Was it 5? Yeah, 5 is 60. So 1, 2, 3 for the middle. Oh, I got an idea. I know how to do that. There we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this one. And then we just have to copy that over here now. So, and the trick here is to put 2 inserters on the same machine, feeding different lanes. So let's copy. Okay, let's move this down a bit. We'll copy this setup. We'll paste it here. There we go. And why is that not saturating? I'm curious. Oh, it's 60. But that's what the belt can handle. It's 60. Oh, this one isn't actually getting. This one's not getting any molten copper for some reason. Why is that? Is it not rotated correctly? It's not rotated correctly. Wow. There we go. So now, as you can see pretty clearly, except for a couple of gaps, it's fully saturated. 2 belts. Almost fully saturated. I'm not sure, it's probably just the fact that the inserters aren't perfect. Now let's measure again. And it looks like we're still ahead of the game on copper, which is frankly weird. Even though we've got all this science going. And what we're going to want to do is figure out, well, oh, you know what? You know what? We haven't addressed low density structures or concrete, because we're going to need both of those. Damn. Well, I'd say it's safer to have the machines here and not need them than, you know, again, I can turn them on and off as needed. They're not all going to be running 100% of the time. But we're slightly overproducing copper and slightly underproducing iron. And I think that's probably okay. So what we'll end up doing is we're going to make concrete. But we need the extra space. First of all, we need the extra space for the science, right? So let's move this over and see just how much extra space do we need. We need a 72 per minute and 48 per minute tungsten. Oh, well, this is too easy. Yeah, we can bring these in on the same belt. Yeah, let's do that. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, should I use green belts? Might as well. We'll bring it in from the bottom. And we'll put it in here, and here, and here, and here. And this will be the tungsten products, right? Now, for some reason, we're not actually getting molten copper. Oh, it's not reaching. There we go. And now it's producing science, which we'll bring back down on this belt. And we're going to use long-handed inserters here, here, and there, right? Because it's not that many. And that, now that we've gotten that figured out for spacing, we can cut this and put it back where it belongs, which is right here. And then, let's see, how fast is this making iron rods? It's making 192 per second? Holy shit. We don't need that 192 per second. We just don't. Like, these aren't even going. So remember, this is only 60 per second on the belt. So 48? What? So this is, yeah, this is a little crazy. Okay, let's go for 120. What's 120? Oh, there it is. So we'll delete these bottom three because we just simply don't need them. And what we want to do is we want to take these 5 foundries and split them across 2 belts. Right? So that means forget these, and we're going to go with half of this one. Boy, is that tricky. Because so for every, yeah, let's 2 here, 2 here. But that's not, let's move this one down here. So we've got 1 belt for this one, which represents half of it, and we've got 2 belts or 2 inserters on this one representing a full, and 2 on this one representing a full, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inserters. But we want to evenly put it on both lanes, so we're going to have to take this one and split it into 2. That means the break has to be here, like this. Yeah, I think. And then we have to mirror this and put that up here. Wow. See, that's kind of crazy. So if my intuition was correct about these inserters, we will have successfully balanced 5 boundaries across 4 lanes. Because there's 3 here on this lane, 3 here on this lane, 3 on this lane, and 3 on this lane, right? So 3 inserters per lane, but only 2 inserters per... 2 inserters here, 2 inserters. Each one of these represents a half. So there's a... I don't know. It looks like it's working, but I'm just doing it from my gut. I haven't actually written it down and done any calculations for this. It may be wrong, but I think it's right. It's probably right. At any rate, now we can do the math again, and we can see that, oh look, we're actually producing enough to handle all of it? Really? All of it, including the iron. Oh, because I scaled... because I cut back some of these iron rods. So now we're magically making enough iron for the whole thing, which I think I'm going to take advantage of by increasing the steel. Because if you look at this steel, we're only making 23 per second, which isn't even stressing out one of the lanes. So I might do some trickery here. Let's take and double this. So now we're making 46 per second, which still isn't it's not saturating the belt or anything, but it's it's using a fair bit of it. Let's measure. Now we're underproducing iron, of course, because of the extra steel, but that's okay. That's okay. My claim is that we're not going to be fully needing all of the iron products at the same time at full blast. I really don't think so. Especially the iron rods. I mean, there's very few. What are we going to do? Be making massive amounts of rails or something 100% of the time? No, I don't think so. So this looks very promising. Very, very promising for a build on Vulcanus to properly utilize. Now, what we should do here at this point, now that it's been running for a bit, we should take a look at our numbers and consumption, raw materials. We got molten copper, molten iron, and lava. We're actually using, get this, 156,000 lava units per minute. That's not bad. Oh, you know what that means? That means we're going to need, like, instead of this one little source, we're going to need like a few offshore pumps. I can't remember how much an offshore pump... what does an offshore pump produce? Pumping speed, 1,200 per second. All right. 1,200 per second. Times 60 is 72,000. So if we go back to this and we say lava, 156,000. So times 2, 144. So 2 isn't quite enough. We divided by 2 times 3 is 216,000 lava per minute, which is plenty. So 3 offshore pumps will handle the whole thing. And down here, from what you can see with this, all it's going to take is a dozen bulk inserters back into the lava to get rid of the stone, and that'll be fine. I'm sure we can easily do that. And this will provide an amazing amount of raw materials. And I think what we'll also end up doing is, let's look at the power consumption. The consumption of power is, well, the inserters themselves. Good grief. Look at that. So just the inserters is 5 megawatts. But we have got 50 megawatts. That's hardly anything compared to, you know, how much we're producing. It's 50 megawatts. Shall we cut the power from the interface here? Let's just say power production 0. And now all of these things will come to a halt. Oh, the accumulator. Let's get rid of that. Okay, now everything's dead. Everything's dead. So we'll give it... what we're gonna do now is we're gonna see what kind of solar farm it's gonna take to power this thing. So here we are producing output 60 kilowatts, max output 60 kilowatts, but we're not on novice. Solar power in atmosphere, 400%. Well, yeah, 100%, 60 kilowatts. I don't think this is working. 400 firm. Now this should be producing 240 kilowatts. Damn. That's not a good... Hang on a second. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the number of solar panels and just divide by 4. And then that'll tell me, like, we'll just put 4 of these. First of all, let's put 4 of these down. And this is as if I had 1, right? We'll delete these as well because there would only be 8. There we go. So this represents 1 block of solars. Now if I look at the power, you can see that it says 7.7 megawatts, which is what I would get from 1 block. And I have a satisfaction of about 10%. So we'll copy this, and then we'll check again. And there's the satisfaction, right? So it's creeping up. So that's 4 blocks. And that's 16 blocks of power. And we're making enough extra that the accumulators are charging, I can see. So really, it takes about 8 blocks. So you can see I'm making about twice as much as I need to. Which, well, okay, 16 blocks. 16 blocks if I can use accumulators and charge up, blah, blah, blah. Right. And that powers the entire thing, which is honestly totally feasible. I'm pretty sure I already have that much solar on the planet. It's just fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy the build and I'm going to remove all of the special stuff, creative stuff. All these, get rid of these, get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. All right, is that all the custom stuff? Let's find out. So we copy this, make a book called Vulcanus, and then we'll go in there and we'll paste this inside, and we'll just call it Foundries. There we go. And this is, gosh, 809 green belts. 111 foundries. Good night. That's a lot. That's a lot. 444 efficiency modules. You know, I might not even need that many efficiency modules. Let's do a quick check here. Because if you look, it's 80%, which is the limit. So if I remove one, it's still 80%. Oh dear. It's still 80%. Now it's 40%. 40%. So we need 2 of these for sure. Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. Because we could, yeah, I'm not going to put speed in there or productivity because I don't want to mess with my layout. It would alter the numbers. So we're just going to leave it at 2 efficiency modules. I wonder if I could use a Mark 1. Oh, you know what? I could use 4 Mark 1s. And that's 80% because Mark 1s are super cheap. In fact, 3 Mark 1s do it. Good grief. Yep, 3 Mark 1s do it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Oh, man. We're going to delete all these. We're going to copy this and just run up with it like that. Because these are still, I mean, it's the same. It's the same. It's 80% reduction. So we'll take these out and we'll put 3 of these in, right, like before, and then that's 80%, right? And then we'll delete these. Yeah, I can't believe that. That's crazy. If I was thinking about the maximum, right, I would have gone with like just enough efficiency, and then I would have gone for speed. You know, I mean, the problem is, of course, the problem with too much speed, honestly, is that the inserters have a difficult time getting the stone out fast enough. So I'm gonna keep it like this, because this isn't terrible. This isn't a terrible layout. This isn't going to take up too much space on the ground. We're just going to get rid of these extra modules because we don't need them, right? 80%, right? So let's get rid of... See, here's something to think about. So this says 80% reduction of power. So but if I put like a speed module 2 in, now it's a minus 30% reduction in power. Oh, but it's 500 kilowatts versus 1.75 megawatts for very slightly more crafting speed. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that one bit. All right, so this is the right decision. Okay, now if we copy the whole thing, we put it here, you can see that instead of 444 Mark II efficiency modules, it's 333 Mark I efficiency modules, which is far, far more reasonable. All right. Well, guess what? That's marks the end of this Let's Design episode, because that's a good design, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. We've got yeah, oh yeah, this isn't actually being used. at all. I don't know why I had that there. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so we've got calcite coming in and lava. Yeah, we got calcite and lava coming in. Oh, I forgot to measure. Well, hang on, let me just measure this. We're using a grand total of 480 calcite per minute, which is 8 per second. 8 per second, which is not even a yellow belt. It's like half of a yellow belt of calcite to produce 120 copper wire, 120 iron rod, 60 copper plates, 60 iron plates, 48 iron gears, 46 steel, and 4.8 orange science per second, which is just nuts. That's mental. And it works. It works. So yay for good design. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.